So what's going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to a zombies Q&A on the channel. That's right, I'm bringing this series back. As Black Ops 6 Zombies are now here, we have a brand new storyline, loads of new Easter eggs, a whole new game to talk about. So because I haven't done one of these videos in a long time, just in case any of you aren't aware, leave me any question you have to do with the zombies storyline, Easter eggs or gameplay down in the comment section, and I may answer them in a future video, preferably to do with Black Ops 6 Zombies, because I've probably done about 200 episodes in this series already, answering every zombies question there is from World at War to Black Ops Cold War. So chances are, if it is to do with the old storyline, I may have already answered it, but still, if it links back to something from the past, as with some questions in today's video, just go ahead and put it anyway. Ask me any question you want to know to do with COD Zombies. Oh, and as always, to celebrate bringing this series back, if you could drop me a like rating, I'd massively appreciate it, but more than anything, hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, so we can reach 700,000 subscribers. But getting straight into it then, the first question of today says, why can you find Dempsey's grave in Liberty Falls? And I'll take that one further. We can also see a grave with the surname Briarton on it, which of course was Misty's surname. So why do we see the surname of Dempsey and Misty in BO6 Zombies? Well, taking a look at the Dempsey grave first, you will find them in the cemetery and it says Ruth Dempsey, 1880 to 1900. Now, of course, this doesn't mean it has to relate to Tank Dempsey. There are probably hundreds of people out there with the surname Dempsey, so whoever Ruth is, she may not be related to him, but, well, Treyarch knew exactly what they were doing here. They knew we'd make this connection, so we have someone buried in Liberty Falls called Ruth Dempsey, but who is she? Well, we've never heard this name before pop up in the zombie storyline. Having gone back and scoured everything to do with Dempsey and all of the people he's related to, the name Ruth doesn't pop up anywhere. In fact, there is only one name that we hear about that is related to Tank Dempsey, and that is Phoebe. But even then, we don't know who she is. Back in Black Ops 4 on Alpha Omega, listen to this conversation that Dempsey and Peter McCain had.
Well, where am I? Why can't I see right? What's happened to me?
Deputy Director Peter McCain, this is Rushmore. Remember me? My new allies and I have brought you back.
Rushmore? The base computer, yeah, I remember an experiment. Something went wrong. Oh, Purnell. Something happened to Purnell.
Yes, Director Purnell is missing, as are the rest of the Broken Arrow staff. Whatever happened shut me down. I can't remember the incident itself. Some sort of recording error.
Wait, I know who your friends are.
Varut, that's where I know your name from. I went there to rescue you, but you were already gone.
All I know is that these intruders want access to the American Pyramid device.
That really you, McCain? I gotta know for sure. Tell me something only the two of us would know.
You sure you want me to do that, Tank? We go way back. I can embarrass the heck out of you if I wanted to.
Okay, let's keep it cryptic. Me and Phoebe. Sum it up in 3 words.
I forgive you.
Can't say I'm surprised. However mad you were at the time, I knew you'd come around. You've always been the forgiving type.
Man, discreet. See how I didn't embarrass you by telling everyone exactly who Phoebe is?
So as Dempsey is talking to Peter McCain, who is trapped inside of this AD-AM robot, Dempsey asks Peter in order for him to verify if he really is who he says he is, if Dempsey's remembering him correctly, because just in case you don't, this was the person that was hanging in Shinonuma, but before that, he was at Varut and Dempsey was sent there to save him. Fortunately, Peter managed to escape, but hung himself later on in Shinonuma, and Dempsey was captured by Group 935, where he became Richtofen's test subject. But Dempsey asks Peter, tell me something that only the two of us would know, and he replies, you sure you want me to do that? We go way back. I could embarrass you. And then Dempsey says back, okay, let's keep it cryptic then. Me and Phoebe sum it up in 3 words, and Peter replies, I forgive you. And that conversation finishes with Dempsey saying, can't say I'm surprised, however mad you were at the time, I knew you'd come around. You were always the forgiving type. Now, they don't specify exactly who Phoebe is, but judging by the way they're talking, it would be weird if this was his daughter. The first thing that came to my mind is it must have been a girlfriend or a wife of Peter McCain's, and Dempsey got with her. He took her from Peter, and Peter's saying he forgives him for what he did. I mean, if that is the case, for Dempsey to even bring that up in the first place is a way to rub it in. But that was the obvious scenario that first came to my mind. Otherwise, why would Peter say he forgives Dempsey for his situation with Phoebe? So she could have been Peter's woman that Dempsey took and then became his girlfriend or wife. Like I said, I doubt she's his daughter, and I also doubt she's his mother. I suppose she could also be Dempsey's sister. Maybe Peter was with her and then Dempsey did something. I don't know. The most likely is Phoebe was in some kind of relationship with Dempsey. And so going back to the grave that we find in Liberty Falls, Ruth Dempsey was born in 1880 and died in 1900. We don't actually know Tank Dempsey's birth date, but we do know the earliest time or the earliest map we saw him in was Origins, which was in 1918. Taking a guess at his age in that map, I would say he's in his 20s, perhaps early 30s, surely no later than that. That's actually kind of crazy when you think about it, that Richtof and Taku, Nikolai and Dempsey were born in the 1800s. But let's just say Dempsey's age in Origins is about 30. That would mean he would have been born around 1890, meaning Ruth Dempsey was born just 10 years before him, meaning if this was his mother, she would have been 10. Well, yeah, that's not even comprehensible, so this can't be Dempsey's mother. The only other people it can be to me is either his sister or another wife. Just because Phoebe might have been his girlfriend or wife doesn't mean he couldn't have had two. He's a legend! This being his sister is also very plausible. We don't know for sure, but I would say it's either one of them. But more so, just having the grave of someone who was related to Dempsey appear in Liberty Falls is fascinating because one, Tank Dempsey doesn't exist in this universe, but clearly someone who was related to him did. Does that then mean that other members of Dempsey's family lived in this universe, but Tank Dempsey was never born in it? And the fact that she's buried here in Liberty Falls means that the Dempsey family must have lived around here. Actually, you know what just clicked to my mind? The chance of Ruth Dempsey being Tank's girlfriend is very low purely because she died in 1900. If Tank was born about 1980, that means this Ruth Dempsey would have been about 20 when she married or dated Tank, who would have been about 10. Yeah, let's just say this is his sister. And the other grave worth taking note on in the map is named Jack Brierton. He lived from 1904 to 1967. He has the exact same surname as Misty, so if he is related to her, well, in what way? All we know about Misty's background was that she lived on a farm, she worked at a bar called the Boathouse, she had several boyfriends, all of whom she dumped, and her mother died of an unknown cause whilst her father was killed by zombies. We have no dates for any of those events. Unlike pretty much every character in the zombie storyline, we don't know their exact age, but we do know Misty must have been born before 2017. Transit takes place in 2035. Yes, not 2025. I know a lot of people like to correct me on that. It's 2035. How old does Misty look in Transit? To me, her mid-20s. So the earliest I could see her being born is about 2010, meaning Jack Brierton can't be her father because he died before she was born. It can't be her boyfriend either, but it's clearly a very distant relative. But not her father, who we know was killed by zombies, and not one of her many boyfriends. But the fact that one of the members of the Brierton family were also buried in this exact same graveyard that someone from the Dempsey family was, is either a huge coincidence, Treyarch just don't care about lore, or the two families live near here, or even in the town of Liberty Falls itself. And the second and final question of today, because this is the revitalization of the series, so I don't really have any from you guys, you'll have to leave them down below for the next one, but why have Treyarch now made the highest round in zombies 999? If you don't know, forever, the highest round you could reach in zombies was around 256. You couldn't go past that. Now, I don't know anything about game development, so I had to look this up for myself to see the reason as to why round 256 was the number Treyarch chose to cap off at. And it's because one unsigned bit can only count from 0 to 255. So once you reach that round, it either stops or overflows back to 0, because it's an 8-bit integer value that is used to store the round variable. And as I just mentioned, 8-bit integers can only store values from 0 to 255 with no decimals. Now there are people out there that will be able to tell you way more about this than I can. I know nothing about it, but what I do know is what Treyarch have now done in Black Ops 6 is they've been able to increase the max round you can reach to 999. And right now, as we talk, as I'm making this video, people, as you'd expect, are trying to reach that round. I think my highest round ever in zombies is 60, maybe 70. My average round is probably about 30. It's never really been something I've been interested in. I always end the game at about round 30, 40 max, because by that point, you've done everything there is to do in the game. Then you're just going round after round, doing the same thing over and over again, which describes COD Zombies perfectly. But when you reach round 40, you should have completed everything there is to do in the game, which for me, I kind of get bored not having something new to do, doing the same thing over and over again. So yeah, I'm definitely more of a storyline or Easter egg person than just playing the game to kill zombies. But a lot of people love it and play it for that, so that's the reason, I believe, why it was capped off in the past. But I couldn't really tell you why now in Black Ops 6 Treyarch have changed it. Why couldn't they do that in Cold War. So anyway, there we go. Leave any questions you have in the comment section below. I'll go through them in the next video and try and answer as many as I can. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like rating if you enjoyed. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.